wadda ya ɗauki shekaru da dama yana faruwa. Alal misali, akan sami masu kama kifi da guba. Shi wannan kamun kifi da guba kan kashe ‘ya'ya, manyan kifi, ya kuma lalata ƙwai da suka nasa. Bugu da ƙari, yakan kuma kashe ainihin ‘ya'yan halittu da kifayen ke rayuwa a kai. Akwai kuma rashin tsayayyen hukuma da zai sa ido bisa yadda za a rinka cin moriyar albarkatun ruwa. Ita dai wannan hukuma za ta ƙayyade girman ramin raga ko birgi ta kuma zaɓi wuraren da za a yi kamun kifi.
Good morning and welcome to the breakfast show from Haske-Tv. My name is Haske and I'll be your host on this program. As always, happy new month. May we achieve all we want to achieve. May we achieve all our dreams in this new month. And as always, this is the breakfast show where we tend to bring you some exciting conversations, some top stories of the newspapers, and also summarize most of the newspapers for you today and analyze some of them if needs be. And also in this program, we will bring you some exciting conversations as always. And I will take you through this journey from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock a.m. You should stay with us. And I'm not doing this alone. I'm doing this with my co-presenter,
Rachel.
It is actually a beautiful Wednesday, so I think you should take your cup, take a seat, and we'll dive deeper into this program after this short break. You stay with us.
Akwai jinsin kifaye da ke nasa ƙwansu a gurabe keɓaɓɓu wadda aka riga aka sani. Saboda haka, idan har an gano watannin da suke nasa ƙwai, sai a hana kamun kifi cikin wannan gurbin. Duk da waɗannan barazana da ke fuskantar kogin Benue, akwai wani tsohuwar raya albarkatu da ke taimakon kogin na Benue. Gandun dajin Gashaka Gumti, gandun daji da ya fi girma a Afirka ta Yamma.
Welcome back from that short break. If you are just joining us, this is the breakfast show from Haske-Tv. I am Farida Haq. As always, as I said, we'll be taking you through some exciting conversations, some exciting analysis on what is happening on most of the front page of the newspaper. But before we go to the nationals, let's start with home. We said home, sweet home, whatever happens, we'll still come back home. So
charity begins at
home. So we'll be starting with the state level, that's home level in Taraba State. A lot is happening, a lot has happened, and actually it's not a ton of excitement that we're waking up to this first day of the month, April, and we're starting with something of an agony, which is happening right now, as I was telling you earlier on, in Taraba State. I think the issue of fighting between two communities, or will I say two quarters, is becoming something that is just normal.
It's becoming the order of the day.
Yes, the order of the day. Thank you so much for that. Because you will see that Rachel, I think day before yesterday, something happened. I think this is a fight between this young, matured adults. Because when I say matured adults, they are not kids, they are not children.
Yeah.
They are our youth. Because I can remember that they keep telling us that we are the leaders of tomorrow. So if the upcoming leaders are becoming problems,
what would become of the tomorrow?
Of the tomorrow itself. It was a case between one cup quarter with the other. I don't want to mention his names here. That it began with the issue of football. So I think these people wore jersey. At the end of the day, they didn't actually settle their costs. Yes. So the other quarter have to move to another quarter to go and fight. I know when they are fighting, it's not normal for them to be walking around with nice cutlasses, weapons on them. So they moved to the other quarter and they had their issues, and to a point, they killed somebody.
Trouble.
So to my surprise right now, they killed someone, and what are you expecting?
Revenge, retaliation.
Good. So before that should happen, I was expecting that the police forces, even though at around 3 or 4 p.m., some troops, I think some troops were sent to the quarter to go and survey and amend everything there. But the Hausa man said, "Na chiki na chiki." When the people from the other quarter that they killed the guy, he was okay. We are going to take revenge on this. How? Okay, they think we are scared of them. Okay, we have to let us just lay low. when everything is cool, we'll now go for our revenge. Good. So I spoke with the community head. I told him that, as you know, issues like this will just go die off like that. Yeah. These guys might be planning something.
Beneath the ground.
Very good. What are you doing? What should be done? Are you involving that? Are you involving the vigilante? Are you going to report them to the police? And what are you going to do about this? Because they're not letting this go. You know, when you're in the portal, you have ears for everything. I heard that they're going to go back for revenge. So I think the earlier you do this, I think the better for us. I'm saying this because you're the village, you're the community head here. Community head here. He said, no problem. Why? And one unfortunate thing, that when the police came arresting, and to a point, we parents, we're not helping issues here.
They will start crying, my child. Don't arrest my child.
We're not helping
so
issues
how
here.
are we supposed to resolve that particular problem that is actually at hand? And when you're crying that your child that have done wrong should not be arrested.
Should not be arrested. So when the police started, came up for arrest, these are also they hit their children in the room. So this policeman said, you are not helping issues here.
Yes, of course.
So at least let's learn to bring these perpetrators to justice. Let's give this guy justice, this other guy justice. Let me say, no, this is a police case, or lie by and and stuff like this. So unfortunately, yesterday they now took back their revenge. It was helter-skelter.
Wow.
They were troubled. Come and see, we were running up and down. So for me, in all this case, I was like, okay, I think this is the importance of state policing.
Yeah.
We have all this impact. We have
now, sorry, before you continue, you talked about going to meet the head community head.
Yes.
You know, something similarly like this happened during Salah in my area. There is this small river that have a lot of trees, mango trees, cashew, guava, and whatsoever. So they decided to go and celebrate in the river. Are you a mami water? That I don't know. So they decided to go and celebrate in the river under the shade of the mango, whatsoever. So during the celebration, I don't know what happened. I was still at work. So it was when I went back home in the evening, and then I noticed some strange movement and other things like that. So I was like, I now asked my husband what's going on. And I said, right now they just called him that they need his attention. So he left that night, and then when he came back, in fact, I was far asleep already. So in the morning when I asked him how far, what happened, so he was like, it was Angwa meeting. Our Angwa and then the other community. So they had to call the head of the Angwas to come and sit to do the meeting with the children. Now during that heat of the celebration, I think argument or whatsoever that happened, like you said, they walk around with weapons and whatsoever. Yes, just they broke someone's head. In fact, they removed the 4 fingers out. And so yes, but thank God for this one that there was no life lost. But then the other Angwa that they broke their brother's head and then removed his fingers. I think those ones came from another Angwa to our own Angwa. See? And now our own Angwa people now were ready with weapons already with them. I don't know why they did that. Probably there was an issue on the ground first before this thing. So they went with people, and then that's how they were able to overcome the other Angwa, injure the person, cut off 4 fingers of another person. That's another recreation of that person. Of course. Another identity, another image that you have given that person simply because you went to celebrate. Now they call these people to come and sit and discuss. They call the boys, the both communities, they came together with them in Angwa. They sat, they discussed, and then I guess the problem was able to be resolved. So now with this issue, now if they call all of the Miangwas and with the individuals, the boys involved in the issues, without a parent hiding them, telling them, I've not seen my child since yesterday, since last year, I've not seen my child. These things will be locally resolved and allow it to escalate
because,
to
you know, these are
issues.
These are issues that start saying these small issues is what used to grow into big issues. Yes. You will see, okay, tomorrow this it's going to be like, okay, this place and this place they have some clashes. So how are we going to settle it? You settle it since
it is still
at the grassroots here. Because if you see most of the cases we're having right now in Nigeria, all the fights, it didn't just start in a day. It started way back, way back. But not able to resolve these issues is what is bringing about these issues of fight, issue of terrorists, issue of bandits. The issues are already on the grassroots. The earlier we settle this cause, the better for us. But you know, in Nigeria, actually, I'm going to bring this issue, I think, later on in the newspapers. But a lot is happening. A lot is happening. We have to take accountability of everything. We have to take account of everything. We have to take responsibility of everything here. We ourselves, we are individuals. We should take responsibility of whatever comes our way. If something is happening that is wrong, you should know how to tackle it as an individual, as a citizen that you are. Before a policeman is going to come, or that army man is going to come, you should be the one to handle it yourself. What is it then? Something is happening, report it. When something is fishy, a house one like that. Let me not come and just disgrace myself here, because actually the house is not. Thank you so much, Rachel. Okay. So you see, there must be the issue start. There's a grassroots. It starts there. So the earlier we combat all these things, I think the better for us. So right now the man said, okay, but why is it so normal that these guys have the F-13 to take someone's life? Like, where do they get that F-1? The nerves to have the mind to kill somebody. Are we training this? Okay, tomorrow now, if this headsman or this bandit comes up, okay,
they will be the one running. Now that's another shameful thing. You were able to take your brother's life, and then when an outsider came in to attack you, to fight you, you'll be the one running.
You'll be the one running. So having issues, we said we are all our brothers' keepers. So I think we'll call it on the government or tribal state government and the police forces to look into this issue of youth confronting each other with weapons, whatever disputes they are having. It shouldn't take to a point of taking somebody's life. Yeah, it's normal to have issues, but tackling the issues or the way of tackling the issues matters a lot. So it should not be a normal, it's of normality between that's happening in Taraba State, that whatever you do now, for me, I keep saying that, you know, the advent of this Indian Hausa, that movie, up to date, I keep saying that it played a very vital role in what we see today. Because you will see that, okay, Endaba, Zamufita, Zamujechaka, you see them, they are going out fighting. Because normal they will know that we yes, now, do you know what? In that movie actually played a very negative role in the mindset of our youth.
Yes, and if you go to Junction, you see them sitting down watching nothing but all this Indian film that it has to do with violence, fight, Angwa from Angwa, all of those things. So that movie actually, I would say, it played a very negative role in the mindset of our youth today. Yes. But we are not kids. You know what is right. You at that mind you're having to go and fight. Why don't you use that mindset to do something useful with your life? Because and they're very proud of it. So you see, all that is happening. We parents, we have a role in training our children. Yes. So all these guys exhibiting this bad habit, they are people's children. You wake up in the morning, you see your child actually she make it damn. I'm going to also say, what are you doing about it as a parent or as a mother? Because you know, a father was I keep a kid whatever it is, it comes to us women. So at least this is high time we should buckle up our belts, tighten it, because these children, we say we're the leaders of, they are the leaders of tomorrow. We are the leaders of tomorrow, because the young shall go. The people on the high seats or the high profile men now, before we know it, we are there. So if we keep exhibiting this attitude, now what if we go up to the higher standard? What's going on? Now, if probably you turn out to be someone tomorrow, yes, let me say miracle happens, you become someone, and then you want to contest for any political whatsoever. Do you know that they will go back to your background?
Yes.
They will check your portfolio. What have you done? What have you not done? They will check. Have you been a tout or a good person to the community? And then you notice that, okay, nothing is moving forward. You forgot that, okay, this is what you did when you were still a youth.
Very good. And also, it also falls back to unemployment. At least I could live in era, I can live in the one day you worry. To a point, they are all idle kids. You're certain there is nothing you do. In the morning, you just wake up, you just form your clique, you sit and talk about how we're going to do this, how we're going to steal this, how we're going to...
Cyber crime
very
and
good,
other things.
But in unemployment actually plays a very negative role too in the mindset of our dearest youth. Because now they will see that there is no work.
Now, you talk about work.
Yes.
All of us, in fact, Nigerians, oh my sweet Jesus. That's why this our ex-president said, lazy youth. You don't want to learn a handwork. You don't want to learn a skill. Now you bring me to just yesterday. I was asking someone. I saw the person. I was like, why are you looking like this? What happened? You're looking sick, tired. What is it? What's your problem? As if me, I can solve this problem. He now said, poverty. Now, I look this human being, okay, you have two hands, you have two legs, you can see, you are a youth, you have your strength, your energy. The first thing I asked him, did you say poverty? He said yes. And I say all of us in Nigeria, we are poor. But then we have some settled level of poverty.
It's class by class.
Class by class. So I now ask him, what is your skill? What is your area of skill or specialization? Let me say handwork or whatsoever.
Yeah.
He was smiling. I was like, I'm not smiling with you, I'm not joking. Why are you smiling? He now said, he's I don't know how they call those ones, those that repairs televisions, anything. Yes. So I was like, okay, so what happened? He now started giving me excuses that, in the shop, that if people bring television, they will tell you, okay, this is what is wrong with the television, and then you will tell them, okay, give me money to go and buy something is bad in your television. I need to go and buy something to come and replace something, or they will not give you the money. And then when you decide to use your money to go and buy, to come and replace, and then when you give them the expenses of the workmanship and the things you bought, they will now tell you, in fact, sometimes they will leave the television for you over years there. And then sometimes thief will break in to steal, and sometimes they will come and tell you, this is not my television. A lot of, he was giving me a lot of plenty excuses. He now said that the disadvantage is higher than the advantage. And I said, okay, so why can't we do it this way? Let's do home services. Forget about shop, because if you say you're going to look for a shop, it means you're going to pay for shop rent. And then let's do house services. Let's do probably graphic design, advertising your handwork, share it, send it to your friends. In fact, they will get to know that this person's television is bad. They will call you, put your phone number, they will call you, you come and work at home there, and then you get your money and find your way. Don't start with a shop. So he now looked at me, he was now blushing and smiling. I said, I'm not joking.
That means it's not possible.
I'm not joking. He now said, tomorrow don't come and cry that you're poor or you don't have money. You are a man.
There are many ways.
Yes, you can. You tomorrow you get married, you have children, and then this wife is looking up to you. Children are looking up to you. You don't have a handwork, and then when this work delayed to come, the white collar job that all of us are willing and trying to kill ourselves for. Federal government, state government, whatsoever. Learn a handwork. When that work did not come, when that white collar job did not come, start with that one. It will give you an income. Then staying back and say lack of employment
and that. And also, I think that the government should look into this just programs that at least this entrepreneurship programs for youth. I think it will actually go a very long way. It will pave a way for them to know, to discover what their skills are.
Yes.
At least, if someone will be like, okay, so but if the government will, bring away, there's this program we organize, but do you know one funny thing? These programs comes,
but it's on the ground.
On the top, you will see that Akida
is their family.
You know, these programs are meant for, I think, the youth that are not employed. Youth that deserves, because I think we in Nigeria, we deserve every right to live a very comfortable life. But it's not only for the people with high profiles. They're going to bring issue of okay, we want to train tailors, we want to train mechanics, we want to train this, we want to train that.
you they provoke me today. You talk about tailoring. You know, last year, I took my time the whole of the day to wait. They sent this ITF link or so. Me, Rachel Lambs. I have, in fact, for years now, I have a passion to go into fashion designing whatsoever. Yes, so a lot of things. I enroll myself into this fashion house. I went, but it happens that this woman will not cut clothes, will not do certain things that you are supposed to learn when you are there. She do them in the midnight or when you have clothes and go home. So what are you supposed to learn? Almost 1 year I'm there, man. I cannot sew clothes. I cannot cut clothes. So what am I doing there? So I now decided to excuse myself. So when this opportunity came, in fact, if I tell you, I have sewing machine in my house.
Wow.
So when this opportunity came, I was like, yes, Rachel, this is for you. Run and go. I feel everything. I did everything. I took 1 day to go for the screening and everything. My name was actually on the list. I went, I was screened and everything. I passed the screening. They now told me that, okay, when they start the program, this is the shop I'll go for my apprenticeship or whatsoever. I was thinking next week, next month. That was last year. I was thinking January, February. We are what? In April.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You talk about government bringing up initiatives that will help youth.
Yes.
And if I tell you the kind of the numbers I saw that day,
you will know that unemployment is real.
Is eating people from the deeper inside of them.
Yes.
So if all of this thing is not taken carefully or serious to help the youth, it's going to be a very serious thing for us tomorrow.
It is.
Right? It is not even tomorrow. Today,
actually.
we are actually sitting on a very serious time bomb that is exploding right now. If nothing is taken, is being handled right now.
Definitely. So the issue, at least the government should pave way for unemployment, to pave way so that at least we should discover what we can do.
Yes.
Because we really need it. There are a lot of unemployed youth out there. So at least keep them busy. And they say an idle man is a devil's workshop. So you see, having something to do is very, very, very important. Teach them, give them the way, show them the way. Someone said involve them. Don't give them the fish.
Show them how to catch the fish.
Involve them in situations or in entrepreneurship programs like this. It will go a very, very long way. And in doing that, at least the rate of unemployment is going to reduce, and a lot of all the bad things happening in the country, I think it will at least reduce drastically. Because everybody will keep giving an excuse for his bad behavior because he's not employed. He's not employed. So at least now, employ them, give them job, give them something to do, and see if it will really, if what they're complaining
is true.
It's true.
Can it start from home?
It should start
from home. Now, my neighbor. I laughed about that thing, but actually when I sat down and I analyzed everything, I said, no, this human being is actually serious. My neighbor has a son of 2 years, I've been one and something, that cannot even speak. So she now admitted him in school, and then when that child returns from school, I was like, where's your son? He's at the garage. Doing what? That he's learning mechanic work and whatsoever. I was like, is this your son? She said, yes. And the boy cannot speak, cannot do anything rather than play ball. Every evening he will come back, engine oil everywhere, inside the eye, or the head, inside the ear. I was like, okay, now that he have started rubbing himself inside engine oil, the thing will now enter into him and say, okay, this is where you will grow, this is where you will learn your handwork, this is who you are. Yes, this is who you are. And then if anything will come, it should be an additional for you.
Yes.
If that white collar job do not come tomorrow, you have handwork to run back to.
At least to cater for.
Yes, and if that handwork, that white collar job happens to come, you will do it and then open a garage for other youth. That's a means of employment for others. You are working in an office, then there are other youth working for
under you. So you see, this is development.
Yes.
This is what we call development. So we just hope the government or the federal government will look into this issue of unemployment and do the right thing, because we really need it.
Yes.
Our youth are actually, we said we are the leaders of tomorrow, so at least we need to start
You know,
getting.
they have changed the word. Not leaders of tomorrow, the leader of today.
Today,
not tomorrow.
Good.
Tomorrow is too far.
It's too far. Okay, let's move forward to another issue that is affecting us. Actually, is a national issue.
Yes.
But when I say national issue is affecting the poor the most. This issue of heat. In the sense that I spoke with a medical practitioner, a medical doctor yesterday, where he said the numbers of people being admitted in the hospital because of this disease, meningitis, that is affecting us the most, because this heat is not funny. 2 days back, the heat was not funny at all.
How can it be funny?
It was not funny at all.
Heat that you can actually boil indomie. Yes, just put water and put your indomie.
Seriously.
Go and come back.
He said the rate of people being admitted in the hospital because of this heat is actually so alarming. He now said there are certain things we should do or we should look into to avoid all the sickness that's been taken during this heat period. Whereas he said the most important thing for you to do in this heat period, you should stay what? Hydrated. You must not feel thirsty to take water. Just take water. Just drink water.
You don't become.
If you just sit down, drink water. Whatever you do, drink water. Because he said the effect will not be now. You won't see it now, but in moment 2 or 3 or 4 days, you start realizing that you're not fine. You feel dizzy. You feel you feel like your world is coming to an end because of all this. So he said you should take water. You should stay dehydrated, and also most importantly, he said take fruits. Watermelon, for example, because at least there's a watermelon. So you're taking both the fruit and the water inside. You should take fruit, watermelon, oranges, cucumber. You're not even you'll be like
you're helping your life. Actually, they say health is wealth. You're building your wealth.
You're building your wealth. And also he said you should actually take light drink, avoid too much coffee or alcohol. Take light drinks.
Sorry to cut you, but inside this heat, alcohol, how does that make sense? That thing that actually, in a cold weather, once you take it, you start sweating, and then in the heat, you want to take alcohol.
And he said most importantly, you should stay in a very ventilated area. Avoid. How someone said chunkoso. Places, if you are 1, 2, 3,
run.
Avoid that place.
Is that why you were running away from us yesterday? Now let me ask you this question. So you knew about this and then you did not tell us. Let me expose you now before everybody.
Actually, that's what I've been told. They told me.
You didn't tell me that.
I should avoid a very congested area, and also. And when he was telling me all this, I just realized that the electricity is actually one of our biggest problems also here. I think the electricity in Taraba State, it became something that, okay, what are we going to do about this? Is this really, okay, of all the days, of all the months, is it during this heat period that's going to play its role? Because, tell me why not?
Now, before you move to this
electricity
whatsoever, you know this heat. Actually, not only that meningitis or whatsoever sickness that will actually occur during this heat. You know, so something like heat stroke, and then heat exhaustion, and then we have dehydration, we have cholera. You know, it's during this heat that you see flies everywhere.
Yes.
You cannot, in fact, in the afternoon, you cannot lie down like that. You want to receive some fresh air. You see flies flying on your face. Anything you keep, you see flies. So this period is where you see all of this thing coming out. And then it causes cholera. And then we have typhoid fever. Heat can actually bring out any hidden sickness in you. When your body gets heated, a lot of things will start to malfunction. And then you see malaria. Everybody's looking for where there is breeze that it can. And then mosquito is looking for where there is AC. Yes, and then you're sleeping, you're snoring. Mosquito have actually sucked your blood and whatsoever. And then you're talking about this electricity. Without this electricity, a lot of things will go wrong.
No, don't say it will go wrong or has gone wrong.
Has gone wrong. And then you talked about what to prevent. You didn't talk about wearing light clothes.
Light clothes.
Avoid
You should
wearing,
avoid.
in fact, black clothes. Why would you be wearing? I've seen a lot of people wearing black, and then
All
they're
black.
sweating.
All black.
Hot afternoon. Why?
So I think these are some of the measures you should take. And also, when you feel something's not right, you just move to the nearest pharmacy or nearest PHC to see what the problem is before it becomes a very, very big issue. At this point, we'll take a very short break. When we return, we'll dive into the top newspapers and also what the newspapers see what the newspapers are saying today, being Wednesday, 1st April 2026. Do stay with us.
Banda yalwatar dabbobi irin su makurna, mazo, boka, kwantarafi, bakane, dabganya, da zuriyar birrai iri daban-daban. Wannan gandun daji tana da koguna daban-daban da ke da wadatar albarkatun ruwa. Waɗannan koguna su ne kogin Gashaka, kogin Kam, Ingiti da kuma kogin Ngamgam. Kusan ƙarshen kowace shekara akwai abin da ke faruwa cikin ɗaya daga cikin waɗannan kogunan, wato kogin Kam. A wannan kogi, kifaye kan hauro daga Benue su nasa ƙwai a cikinta. Bayan sun ƙyanƙyashe sai su ɗauki al'adarsu ta gado. Sukan ɗauki tsawon makonni suna ƙaura zuwa mashekararsu kamar yadda kakanninsu suka yi. A wannan mashekara nasu inda ruwan ba shi da igiya da kuma yawan gudu suke zama har su girma. Bayan sun girma, cikowan damina sai ta kwaso galibinsu ta wadata kogin Benue da manyan kifi. Ta haka, ƙara yanayi ta wurin kafa gandun dazuzzuka ke agaza wa rayuwar bil'adam na yau da kullum.
Alright, welcome back from that short break. If you're just joining us, this is the breakfast show from Haske-Tv. I am Freda Hack, and as always, we are giving you all the gist that you need to, we're giving you all the conversations or the important message you need to know on our program today. Before we enter the break, we said we're giving you some national, we'll dive deeper into the national issues we are having today, and also on most of the top newspapers, where Rachel Langs will be taking us through the journey of the newspaper.
Alright, so I'm starting with Vanguard. Vanguard says Tinubu won't farm NBA, vow justice. Now, still on Vanguard, court rules on El Rufai's bill today. You can find that on page 7. Then it says Senate extends 2025 budget implementation to June 30. You can find it on page 8. APC reassuring INEC to undermine us after Concoso's defection. That's page 8. Still. And then still on that, we have our 27 reps defeat as APC strengthen majority in House. Okay, APC is moving forward. And then we have Nigeria debt to hit 155 trillion naira as Senate approves. Wow. Then we have federal government's $6 billion loan request. Wow. In Nigeria. We will not be sold out. Alright, so moving to the next newspaper, we have Tribune. Tribune says 30 reps moves across parties, 14 join APC, ADC, again 9, PDP loses 12. PDP will join you. Now we have Plateau Kaduna killing affront to all Nigerians stands for Tinubu. We have NAS passes 68.323 trillion naira 2026 budget. And then we have, okay, I've read this one on the order. We have troops arrest 16 logistics suppliers, other bandit in Northeast. Then we have federal government unveil new standard for fairly used vehicles, says no certification, no entry. Page 5. Then we have Afrimax Bank leads $4 billion US financing for Dangote refinery with $2.5 billion US commitment. Then we have scientists create device that warns of approaching heart attack. We need that. Everybody need that. Then moving to Daily Sun. Daily Sun said Knox kudos as Senate okays Tinubu's 9 trillion naira budget hike request. Then we have JAM releases 2026 mock UTME results. This list 20 CBT centers. So they don't do malpractice with that. Then we have Erufai returns to ICPC cell after mom's burial. And I'm not going to forgive her. Then we have Mba OK promotion convention of 2,114 civil service. Then we have confidence, DHQ, confidence US Nigeria, military collaboration will boost security in Nigeria. Then we have budget rises from 58.4 trillion naira to 68.3 trillion naira, extend 2025 budget to June 2026 as capital project still. I think that's all I have for on the newspapers.
All right. Let me take you through the daily trusts. I think we'll just take two newspapers and analyze them because the time actually it's not smiling
at all.
All right. On daily trust, the biggest headline or the top headline there is saying that Tinubu moves for new loans, debt to hit 195 billion naira. And another story here says that El Rufai returns to ICPC custody. Commuters stand stranded as bridge collapses along Abuja Road. I think that is coming on page 16 of the newspaper. While South Africans pocket Nigerian High Commission over Igbo King. That is what we have for you on daily trusts. Not forgetting Plateau GNI conference, 4 members killed, 10 missing. And also let's quickly move to the Punch newspaper where the biggest headline is saying that federal government eyes oil windfall to fund 9 trillion naira budget gap. The full story is coming on page 2 of the Punch newspaper, where a writer is saying that Plateau killings, Tinubu invite governor as death hit 28. Another story is saying that Lagos CPC withdraws tax fund from traffic duties. Below there is saying that Transport Minister resigns, Adelapo orders holds on. Wow. Another story is saying that defection tsunami, 27 reps dumps PDP, orders for APC and ADC. This is coming on page 8 of the Punch newspaper, where now we'll be diving into it and saying what the news is actually telling us, what's actually saying, because you know all this issue of defection, all the issue of most importantly the issue of Plateau State. The issue of Plateau State is a top story that has been happening, I think, some days back. But today, I can still believe that most of this still on the newspapers, because we'll see that President Tinubu, I think President Tinubu, held meetings with the governor of Plateau State, that's moved one, saying that he says, sorry, let me take us through this. There's a mix-up here. Where President Tinubu says that he have actually invited governors as dead hit 28. But this morning it has been said that actually the death of people have hit 30. because we will see that President Tinubu has invited Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang to Abuja for high-level talks following the recent attack in Angwan Rukuba, just not local government area. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, disclosed this at a press briefing held on Tuesday in Abuja. The Punch reported that the attack, which occurred on Palm Sunday, resulted in the loss of 28 lives, with many others injured. Following the meeting, the governor of Plateau State, Caleb Mutfwang, has been invited by President Tinubu to further deliberate and chart on coordinated path toward lasting peace and security. The outcome of the meeting between President Tinubu and Governor Mutfwang will be made public in due course. That was what the Minister of Information, Idris, stated. He conveyed condolences on behalf of the President and the federal government to the victims and their families. And actually love this aspect. But as always, meetings are good.
Yeah.
To discuss important issues.
Critical issues.
But what is most importantly here is the result or the outcome of the meeting. This morning I was listening to Channel's News where someone, I think, someone was invited on the show where he said it's actually the story he gave me. I'll actually tell you right now. He not actually gave me the story I saw was that I think 4 or 5 days before Salah celebration, a guy came out on social media and said, after Salah we are going to attack. He said this with his full chest. You know Nigeria now, we don't tend to react to issues when it's about to happen. It's after it happened, then we want, okay, we are now running helter-skelter.
No, if you can remember the last breakfast show we had, we talked about we knowing things and doing nothing about it. I asked you this question that Hak show today. I said, Hak, after this program, I'm going to kill you. Hak, tell me, will you still remain around me, or you just sit quiet to wait for me to come and kill you?
So this guy made this statement, at least it was trending in social media. Then bam, it happened. So, and also that there's an attack. The attack happens, lots of lives were killed, and there's this video where you see a mother was holding her only child, crying, not believing that the child is dead. For this issue of Plateau State is not the first time. This is not the second time. It keeps happening every single time. But in this aspect, someone said this is what he is going to do. And do you know one funny thing? Now after the attack, the guy was now arrested. For what?
After murder arrest.
For what?
This is like Kukabayang
Hari. Kukabayang Hari. So if really we are going to go back to days of tackling issues before it escalates. In Nigeria, I always say this on this show that this is our home. We don't have anywhere to go. This is where we will be. If you aren't comfortable at home, I'm not going to be comfortable in the US.
Somewhere you can't.
This is my home, and for how long will we keep running away from home? And Plateau State is actually bleeding, and this is not the first time. Attacks has been happening. Then, even though the president said the governor said they have sent some troops to go and centralize the issue, to go and look into the issue, to go and intelligence. This is not the time. These things have already. It is a foreseen issue. It will have happened because this guy said it will happen. What measures did you take to make sure this doesn't happen? What measures? Then after everything now, arresting the boy. Okay.
You know this crisis of a thing just has actually experienced repeated violence, conflict.
Yeah.
Especially right from the early, if I could remember, 2000s. It started at Wasi local government of Plateau State. I think I was still just little when this happened. So there was a lot of killings.
That's right.
It was serious issue that as little as I was, I have to trek from another local government to another one. And the distance is not something that you say, From morning till evening, we're trekking. As little as I was, so at least I've experienced that thing. But I've never seen someone fall down to die before me or any of my family killed during this war. But then it actually hurt and it pains that someone that you know is being killed just like that without any offense. You're just sitting down, a mother. Okay, now you talked about a mother who was her only child that she got married for over how many years before God decided to bless her with that child. It's been taken away from just a tinkle of an eye. That child is gone. And now you're talking about, okay, them going down to sit and discuss. Okay, thank you for coming in. Yes, thank you for coming in, Mr. Tinubu, President. We actually like that. And then so now, after this sitting down to talk or whatever, the meeting, what is happening? They gave 48 hours curfew in some of the area in just there, but now it's been lifted up. So what is going to happen? This particular person that is being arrested, what is going to happen to that person?
We just hope we're going to hear the aftermath of the arrest, because actually meetings are good, discussions are good, collaborations are good. But actually, the result matters a lot. At the end of the tunnel, we need result. We need to know. We need after the meeting, then what is going to happen, and what decisions are you going to make to make sure this doesn't happen again. In Nigeria now, all these killings has become a national issue. It's become our daily bread. But for how long will this continue? Even though the government are trying all the possible best to make sure that all this are being taken care of, because you will see issues like this. For instance, now, on our social media handles, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, you said these bandits now have the effrontery to come up, do their videos
without even covering their faces.
Yeah, now they feel that nerves, they feel there's something I could, like how someone will say, Takama Gadara.
Confidence, like,
very
what
good.
can you do?
What can you do about it? Even though we know that the government are doing all they can to make sure that all these things are being eradicated, but you need to do more. Every day, lives are being taken away from us. Every single day, we don't feel safe again. Imagine what the families of the victims are going through. Imagine the pains they are going through. After having all the meetings, after having all the conversations, we just hope that the perpetrators are brought to justice.
We need tangible results, something justice. We can hold on to.
We need justice. And also, someone said that Rukuba area, I think that is becoming into, I don't know the place, but you will know that very well. So something that we hear that's happening in most of the villages, but now it is coming inside the town.
And now the annoying part of it is that Rukuba is student resident area.
Yes,
like that. Yes, because mostly university students.
This is where they tend to.
Yes. The area is closer to the school. You do not expect someone that is schooling in University of Jos to go and stay in Brayfield. Rukuba is closer to the school, and then the school is there. So now a lot of students, in fact, a lot of parents will not want to send their children to school.
Then you say the educational backup is going to be now a total failure. Because there's no how I see my child because she thought she wants to be this in the future, and I want you to go to just no, you need just no, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's not safe. When you don't feel safe, all these attacks, all these killings, it brings a lot of damage to the state or the country at large. Because I think in the channels I heard that I think Shevun was saying that Nigeria now is being ranked the fourth country with issues of terrorism, banditry, and a lot more. Every single day, Nigeria is bleeding. Every single day. For how long?
If it is not from this state, another state. If it is not in this state, it's not.
And the recurrence of this situation is what baffles Nigerians the most. It is what baffles, because in that interview, the man says what Nigeria is actually most concerned now is the 2027 election that is coming.
Yes.
Everybody's concern now is because you can see a lot of defection, a lot of
moving from one party to another.
But we have some issues to be taken care of. Certain things that are happening here. What are the way forward? Troops have been sent to that place, yes, but will it stop it from happening tomorrow? That is what we want. We don't want a situation where you just want to calm it at this moment.
And
we don't want it to happen again. Because seriously, Rachel, our hearts are bleeding. We are not safe. I mean, Taraba State, even though the governor of Taraba State is doing all he can to make sure that there's peace, there's stabilization in Taraba State, but still, aka ce gemun dan wankan ya kama
Kama
wuta.
wuta.
Bring water
Water.
and
Shafa on your
on your own. So what is happening actually in most of the states actually is not a thing of encouragement, because for me, I said I don't want to leave Nigeria, but if case be it Najapa syndrome, I would say, oh Rachel, when you look for me, you didn't see me. Me, I'm flying out because on 20 countries, because I said I have this hope
before
that
you enter that plane, me, I'm sitting down close to the pilot.
because we have this hope that Nigeria is going to be a better place. We have this hope. This is the hopes that is holding us back.
Do you know? When I saw that video of that woman crying over, in fact, she was not even crying because you cannot cry.
Yeah,
at
she
that
wasn't
moment.
crying.
She was not crying, and everybody was like, "Let go of the child. The child is there." She said, "No, my child is not there." She grabbed him to her. That's a mother's pain to her heart.
Seriously.
Now it now led me to like, okay, I am a woman. You are a woman.
Definitely.
And so we know all. In fact, even if you have not gone through the journey of pregnancy, we know that it has never been an easy journey for most of the women. Some miraculously do that without any pains, with ease. But some actually go through pains. But now look at the situation of this woman. For over 10 years, she got married, no child.
Seriously.
And then now this one child that was given to her was taken
away from
just
her.
like that. And now I became scared. What if I start having children now? What if I start having children up to 6, 5, 10? And then, or even that, just one. And then from nowhere, I'm just sitting down, and then they will now come in. My child has been shot on the street to the ground.
You can imagine
what
that
happened?
agony, that pain,
Crisis.
that pains. You can't actually, we can just imagine, but we don't know what they're actually going through.
When that thing is not good.
This morning, actually, some are actually happy, while some are in the state of sadness because of what has happened in just state. So I think the government, since they are having their talk, even though the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, said the result of the meeting will be, at least maybe it will be, we'll hear it afterwards.
Yeah, we are waiting.
After, so we just hope it's going to be a positive outcome, and also the needs will be done. We're calling the government to do all the needful to make sure that this stuff doesn't happen again, because there is no way we will go. As I always say in this show, Nigeria is our home. There is no place like home. But if need be, Alright, I think right now we'll be taking you through the summaries of the newspaper, because time is actually not by our side here. Well, the first story is saying that Governor Bala Muhammad of Bauchi State has indicated plans to defect to the African Democratic Congress ADC, saying the party has the potential to unseat the ruling All Progressive Congress APC in 2027. The governor made this known shortly after a closed-door meeting with a delegation of the national chairman of the ADC, led by the former secretary to the government of the Federation, Babashir David Lawal. Another story is saying that the Senate has approved 668.3 trillion appropriation bill for the 2026 fiscal year. The approval followed the presentation and consideration of the report of the State Senate Committee on Appropriations in the Committee of Supplies during Tuesday plenary. The story says that Malam Nasir El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State, has been returned to the custody of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Commission, ICPC. The former governor, who left custody on March 27, 2026, following the death of his mother, was rearranged earlier on Tuesday. Another story is saying that African Democratic Party ADC has accused the All Progressive Congress APC of putting pressure on the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC to interfere in its internal affairs, saying there were coordinated efforts to destabilize the party following the defection of Rabiu Kwankwaso. The party warned that what was happening raising serious concerns about whether Nigeria's electoral body could remain independent. Another story is actually saying that the 2023 combinational flag bearer of the All Progressive Congress APC in Kano State, Nasir Yusuf Gambuna, has formally joined the African Democratic Congress ADC in the state. With the development, Gamuna has pitched its tent with the former presidential candidate of the New Nigerian People's Party (NNPP), Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, who also registered his membership with the ADC on Monday. President Bola Tinubu has told security agencies to be proactive in preventing attacks taking place in different parts of the country, especially in the north, condemning the attacks by gunmen in Angwa-Rukuba district, Jos Plateau State. He equally condemned the attacks in Kai village in Kakurku local government area of Kaduna State. I think we're coming to the end. The defense headquarters has placed troops on nationwide ahead of the Easter celebration, assuring Nigerians of the tightened security. The DHQ also reaffirmed that ongoing support from the United States in strengthening counterterrorism operations with visible impacts expected in the coming weeks. The last story is saying that Edo State Command have the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency on Tuesday has said it seized illicit drugs worth 1.8 billion naira in the first 3 months of the year. The commander, Michael, who disclosed this while presenting the command first quarter operation secured in Benin City. I think that is all we have for you today on our program, The Breakfast from Haske-Television. As always, you know these programs tend to come to you every Monday to Friday from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock a.m. Do stay with us. You should always stick to this program because we bring you some exciting conversations, some exciting analysis, and some exciting stories that are happening on most of the papers. And also, my name is Farida, as always. Say, when you see something, you should say something. We are in Nigeria. From me is a goodbye, Rachel.
I am Rachel Lance. Stay tuned to our subsequent program. It's a goodbye from me.
Banda yashi da zaizayar ƙasa ya jibge, wadda a cikin shekarun nan ke barazanar shaƙe gudanar ruwa a kogin Benue.